Hey guys, it's me, Jan. I have Nathan here today. It's a new week, new market. What are we seeing? What's up?
Welcome back. Another Tuesday here, back behind the desk. What's up is the price of Bitcoin. We've been just pumping, sticking around the $110,000 range here. I know we went up as high as what, 112? Let's switch this up. We gotta get trading view on here. We need our charts guy. Where's he at today?
Yeah, he's somewhere. He's hiding. Just good price.
Yeah, I was trying to look for bars instead. We can get the wicks, but yeah, I mean 111.8. That's pretty close. I think on certain exchanges I saw up over 112. So new all-time high officially. Previously we'd hit 110 as a wick. I think we closed above. I don't know what our final closing price was for the high on Bitcoin, but breaking up above 110, setting a new all-time high again. And a lot of people were predicting a quick pullback after that, myself included. We saw a quick wick down. It was 2 days ago or yesterday. It was only down 107, 106, something 107, but then right back up. I mean, we haven't closed a red candle in a couple days here. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin looking very, very strong right now. We're seeing lots of different people predict. I think we got a meta signals fired off here this week. Looking at Bitcoin, yeah, here we go. Potential long situation. Target 112, which we already just about hit that. 115 on target 2 and 122 for target 3. And I think this is over like a month or more time frame. But as long as we don't close, I think it's set below. Yeah, 107,283 on the 6-hour time frame. This stays valid. If you're not familiar with MetaSignals, it's a great service. They have some AI algorithms that produce some really great calls, some very with a lot of very targeted data to help you if you're looking for longs and shorts and stuff like that. But always be careful with leverage, not financial advice. But anyways, yeah, markets overall looking really, really good right now. Bitcoin obviously leading there. Alts doing okay. I saw Ethereum back up over 2,600, but no, outside of that, no significant, huge altcoin rallies. But Bitcoin looking like we're leading into a very bullish summer. And we've talked a lot with Andrew the last couple episodes here. What to expect for the summer? Are we getting that May dip? Sell in May and go away, or are we just going to keep raging through the summer? Right now, it looks like we're going to be moving strong at least into June.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very bearish at the moment. I think we're going too fast. I think there's a lot of bearish news overall, despite they are bullish. Like overall, summer is very, I would say, no action, no liquidity. Everyone are not trading, but it seems to be like this could be a different summer. But if you ask me personally, I am a little bit bearish. I don't think that we will keep this run that we have. I think we're going to be keeping the price between 102. Over 102 is very good. Everything over that is like a big plus. But yeah, we're definitely going fast at the moment.
No, I'm with you as well. I think we're long overdue for a pullback. If we look back over the last 3 months, it's just since April, we've been up only from 77. I think we all the way low is like 75K now to 112. I mean, let's just call it $40,000 in since April. Month and a half. That's pretty intense uptrend. Those usually don't hold forever. We're overdue for some kind of a correction here. Do I think it's the end of the cycle? No, but we could definitely see back into the mid 90s and kind of range in mid 90s to 105, 110, something like that throughout the summer. I think that'd probably be healthy. I think we go a lot higher and the bull market extends a lot longer if we do get a pullback and some sideways here. But I'm with you. I think that's more likely. I think that's more healthy. So I haven't, I'm still sitting on some dry powder waiting for some prices to come down and get some good buys again. But hopefully we don't get left behind holding the bags of stables with FOMO.
No, I agree. That's why DCAing is such a remarkable thing. You can buy weekly, you can buy daily, just a small portion, and in the long term, it's going to be a lot. But obviously, we were talking about buying something at 75, I think, and 80 and 87. At least that's when I bought quite a lot. So I'm pretty happy. But I've been DCA. I think the best strategy, if you want to be long term in this game, is just buying a small amounts here and there, and then eventually you will have a lot in the long term. But yeah, I do agree. We are waiting for a big red candle, but who knows? Maybe that's not going to happen.
Yeah, typically when you got too many people thinking the same thing in crypto, the opposite happens.
Yeah.
So be prepared for some kind of craziness to happen in the market. Yeah, I'm certainly not an expert when it comes to TA or overall macro tech trends. We'll get Andrew on Friday and get his take on what's going on.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But before we jump into the news so far for the week and kind of over the weekend here, want to take a look at one of our core verticals here at Acquire.Fi. If you're not familiar, if you're first time tuning in, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We do these twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Try and give you a little market update, talk about what's going on in the news. Usually we have our third party here, Mr. Andrew, who covers charts, TA, gives us kind of basic analysis on a lot of different charts. Everything from Bitcoin, equity, or excuse me, the traditional markets, Ethereum. If you have any requests for us to look at chart-wise, leave it in a comment below, and we will do our best to get that on the next episode. What we do at Acquire.Fi, we are the largest mergers and acquisitions platform in Web3. Got over 200 different assets, everything from licenses to acqui-hires. We've got full acquisitions where you're buying the entire company, tech buyouts, covering everything from centralized exchanges, decentralized perps, DeFi stuff. We've got wallets, launch pads, you name it. If you're in the business, if you're looking to grow by acquisition, we've got you covered there. Everything from revenue profitable businesses, business with TVL, user numbers, whatever it is you guys are looking for, let us know. And if you're looking to get acquired, if you're looking to sell your business, we're the one-stop shop. Help you guys get set up, everything from accounting to legal, help you get all your ducks in a row and get you connected with appropriate buyers in the industry. The other side of the business, the other core vertical we have is OTC and secondaries. One of the largest OTC and secondaries marketplaces in all of Web3. Everything from locked to liquid tokens, SAFs, safes, equities, you name it, we got it covered here. So today I just kind of wanted to talk, Jan is the expert, our founder here. I want to talk a little bit about the state of the OTC and secondaries market, what's going on in the space right now, what kind of deals we're seeing, and then take a look here. As you can see in our marketplace, we got a couple hot deals that we just listed here recently. I wanted to chat a little bit about those, and if anybody's watching has the interest, can reach out to us. Jan, what's going on in the space?
No, sounds good. Thanks for the intro. Yeah, as people know, we are one of the biggest OTC and secondary marketplaces out there. What's happening in the market is the following. There's a lot of projects that are in Binance. They're basically doing OTC rounds. These rounds are plus usually like 6-month cliff, 6-month vesting. And I've been talking to a lot of different portfolio companies that we have invested in, and also I personally have been involved with. And it's kind of bad at the moment if you look at the fundraising, because here comes the dilemma. So OTC market is very hot. There's a lot of different opportunities, and obviously like the vesting and cliff are pretty good. Everything over 1 year or less than 1 year, I think is very investable. But then if you're doing long-term investments, like we have been doing, like these can be anything from plus 1 year, plus 2 year, plus 3 year, but let's say the average 2 years. So basically on the fundraising market, it's been quite dry. And I think, Nathan, you also seen this quite heavily. If you're a project that is raising, it's pretty hard because you have these OTC opportunities. And obviously for us, it's very good. We are very much in the market. We see a lot of deals happening, but there's also like unrealistic deals. Like people are demanding less vesting, less cliff, and so forth. And actually, I think this is a really bad thing. I think if you're a long-term investor, you need to give the team a little bit more time to build what they're actually building and so forth. But yeah, just in short, it's a very interesting market. And I think it's going to be just growing and growing and growing. But at the same time, I feel very bad for normal portfolio companies that are raising and are going through this shift when you have all these great deals and you're basically going against very short cliff investing. I hope I didn't ramble too much, but I think that's what's happening in the VC market. And I think a lot of VCs are changing from like doing long-term investments to short. And that's why we have all these deals popping up.
Yeah, I mean, pre-sale market has just been kicking in when it's down. I mean, first it was all the liquidity went into memes. Now the OTC market's hot. And yeah, it makes sense. Like if I'm looking and I've got a Binance listed, top 200, top 300 company that's producing revenue with actual users or live product, that's offering me shorter vesting and a massive discount compared to, a new project that may or may not, have good tech or a team. It's too many unknowns there. They don't have a product live. They haven't launched their token yet. They're not producing revenue at the moment, and the vesting is twice as long. If I'm in that position as a fund, it's kind of a no-brainer. So, totally understand from their position why they're the VC market is kind of flipping from pre-sales into OTC, or from early stage investment into OTC. But yeah, super tough situation if you're a project building and raising right now.
No, I agree. But just on the OTC deals that what we have, and also some of the deals that you are showing here. So if you're looking at something, I wouldn't buy it at spot at the moment. I think there's a lot of different opportunities where you can buy basically a -40, -6% discount. But obviously, like some of these deals are still like 2-year vesting, 1-year cliff, or 1-year vesting, and so forth. Like you can spot really good deals, but you will still have some cliff investing though. Like it's not, all the deals are not with short vesting, unfortunately. But sorry.
I was gonna say, good word of caution there. If you are getting into the secondaries market, if you're new to this with OTC and secondaries, there are a lot of fake deals going around. Be very, very careful when you are looking into deals. If it sounds too good to be true, one of my general rules in crypto and in life, if it sounds too good to be true, it very likely is. So if you're seeing Sui with 4-month vesting and 50% discount, well, Sui is probably not the greatest example after what happened last week, but deals like that, top tier 1 platforms with super short vesting and massive discounts, I'd be very careful with that. Make sure that if you are going to be dealing in OTCs, you're dealing with a very reputable source like Acquire.Fi, and make sure that you can verify who the seller is before you're getting too involved with that token deal.
No, absolutely. Like you should always have direct access to the seller. It's either the foundation or it's a VC. So I think it's very important. But you're absolutely right. There's a lot of fake deals. There's a lot of deals that went through like with less than 4-month vesting at the moment. I don't think they're true. I think I don't know. I think there's a big Ponzi and someone is basically running it. But let's not go into that.
Let's talk about some of these deals that we do have right now. Currently, we have buyers for Bounce and Finance and Teller, 2 big projects that we have already sourced buy side. So we work on both sides, the buy and the sell side. If you're watching this, you're connected with either of those teams, we'd love to chat with them, or anybody that's on the cap table there. We've got active buyers right now on the sell side. Lots of great stuff on the sell side, both SAFT and tokens, Sign Protocol. What are some of the other hot deals? Maybe not on this that I don't have up on the screen here right now. Do we still have like Particle, or what are some of the other top deals that we've got for sale right now?
Yeah, I think Particle deal was very good. Obviously, there are more deals in private deals. So why I'm saying private deals is because some of these deals we cannot actually talk about because we have NDA in place. And obviously, like if you guys are interested, just ping me or Nathan. We're happy to share some of it. But what we have in public, I think Bluefin, for example, they're listed almost everywhere, and they're also kind of short vesting, short cliff. So that's definitely something to watch out. I wouldn't go through so much of these at the moment. I think the private deals that we have are very good. So if you guys have anyone interested in doing some private deals, let me know.
Yeah, when we say private deals, it's just that we can't publicly post them up there. So we have a whole book that's not on the website. If you want to get access to those deals, shoot us an NDA. Give us a message. We'll sign an NDA and we'll go from there. So, well, cool. Probably cover a little more on the M&A side next week, or maybe on Friday. But let's hop into some stories here. This is something we've been talking about for a while now. Jan's been kind of ringing the bell on all these bond rates. Bond rates have been all-time highs on multiple countries. Japan, one of the worst suffering from this. They've officially lost its status as the world's top creditor for the first time in 34 years. Japan, for a long time, has been the #1 buyer of U.S. bonds. And it looks like that is starting to fall apart as the currency in Japan. Oh, Japan's got a lot of economic issues right now, but their currency is completely upside down. We've talked a bit about this in the past. What do these high bond rates typically signal for the markets and traditional markets? And what do you see happening with crypto if this kind of debt spiral continues?
Yeah, just to understand like what are bonds. Bonds are basically from the government. They're usually between 20 to 50 to 100 years. I think US actually was saying that they're gonna have a 100-year bond. But yeah, they're usually like loans or debts that the governments are giving out. And they have different tenures. The tenures can be anything from 5 to 25 or to 50 years. And usually when bonds are rising, it means that there's basically no trust in their currencies or in the government itself. And basically it means that they go to the open market and they say like, hey, we want to borrow some money. Here's a 10-year bond or 20-year bond. And you have to pay this bond back in 20 years. So you get a rate. And usually when rates go up, it means that the fiat currencies are either devaluating or there's so much inflation that it's happening. And what's been happening in Japan is that Japan has been borrowing from the open market for a long time, and they finally broke the system. And when I say they broke the system, is that their bond rates are going sky high. I hope that explains it with my layman terms.
No, that's perfect. I think that's what most people want is a simple explanation like that. So in terms of cryptos, it's showing that people are losing confidence in the fiat systems, in the traditional markets that we have been relying on for 100 years. So is that showing a direct correlation to pump in Bitcoin? I mean, kind of seems like it. As people continue to lose faith, as these traditional institutions continue to get downgraded, lose their trustability, where else really is there for them to go other than into Web3, into crypto, into Bitcoin? So, again, to me, this is just another major catalyst looking for what could be the bull run of all bull runs coming up here. We just gotta, I guess, be a little more patient, keep DCA in.
This is actually a very bullish news for Bitcoin and also for gold. Like when risk assets they start to crumble, we see like strong assets like Bitcoin and gold start to go up. Obviously, Bitcoin was a risk asset before, but in my eyes, you don't have like infinite amount you can print, which means that there's an X amount of Bitcoin out there that will ever be existent.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing the results of that pressure in the traditional markets. Jamie Dimon, CEO at JP Morgan, has been a long-time hater of Bitcoin, still doesn't like Bitcoin. Even in regards to this recent news that JP Morgan plans to allow their 90 million customers at their banks to buy and custody Bitcoin and crypto directly in their bank accounts. He doesn't want that. He's come out and said, I still think this is stupid, but it's not my job to tell you what to do with your money. It's not my job to tell you what you can and cannot buy. So this is showing the market is demanding crypto, is demanding access to Bitcoin. And I think things like the traditional institutions that we're seeing failing here is a big part of that. So obviously this is super bullish. It's going to open up access to a lot of retail people to be able to come in. Obviously, most of them probably going to be buying Bitcoin. But it's going to be interesting to see what other currencies are going to be, number one, accessible through your bank account, but two, popular with the masses as they come into crypto here through their bank accounts. Who thought we were going to be buying crypto through your bank account, Jan?
I don't know, but I'm funny. I'm very laughable with Jamie Dimon because he's been so against Bitcoin, and now finally JP Morgan is like introducing Bitcoin to all of their people. So I don't know. Good for Jamie Dimon coming back finally and seeing what Bitcoin can do.
Yeah, I think he's got some people behind him pushing him. If it was up to him, I bet they wouldn't be doing this. But that, or at the end of the day, he sees the money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well. Another major story breaking that we've been covering here for a bit, and one of the major catalysts that we've been talking about for months now is the end of these trade wars. Last week, Trump announcing temporary 50% tariffs on all of the EU until they come back to the table because they weren't, I guess, negotiating the way he wanted to. I think you mentioned there's like $250 million or billion dollar trade deficit every year with the EU, and he wants to, right that. And within a week, we have the European Union say it's ready to move quick to negotiate a new deal. So it looks like the UK deal is done. China's more or less done or very close to being done. Looks like the EU is going to be done. So most of the major concerns that people had around these tariffs coming hopefully by the end of the summer should all be figured out here, opening the way for risk on assets like Bitcoin, if we still consider it that, to absolutely start pumping. Next thing we need is just we need JPOW to pull his head out of his ass and start cutting rates, and we'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen because of these rates. That's like the biggest question on the market. But yeah, on this European like trade war again, I don't know. I think Europe is starting to understand they need US. And unfortunately, the war between Ukraine and Russia is escalating. I don't know if you read the news or if you guys are reading the news out there, but Ukraine attacked Putin's helicopter and he almost died there. So I think this is a huge escalation. And I think overall, like this is being seen in the market. But again, like this trade deal, I don't know. I'm a European citizen. I'm from Finland. I can see like the good and bad both ways. Obviously, you're from US, so you'd see your way, right?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten too in depth studying the tariffs and the pros and cons of it. As an American, I do like that we're standing up for ourselves. As we've been getting the shit into the stick on a lot of different things, trade deals and otherwise. Is it what's best for the rest of the world? I don't know. What's the best for the overall world economy? I don't know. But for the U.S., it's definitely a stronger putting us in a stronger economic position. How that relates to the dollar and how that feeds into Bitcoin. I mean, I didn't go to school for economics, so
Same thing.
I'm not going to pretend I know all the answers there. But at the end of the day, if we see number go up for Bitcoin, then I think we'll be happy here.
No, true that.
Oh man, what else is in the news this week? A lot more people. We get every single week. It seems like we're coming out here. Not even every single week. Like between Tuesday and Friday and Tuesday, it seems like there's 5 new companies that are coming out buying Bitcoin, buying crypto, announcing a new fund they're raising to go buy crypto assets. Trump Media Group obviously owns a lot of crypto already, has been buying crypto, but this is a major announcement, raising $3 billion to go out and buy more Bitcoin and other crypto. I imagine it'd be majority Bitcoin. And ETH and a few other top assets. He's talked about Solana and Cardano and some other things in the past, but that is yet to be revealed. However, what I'm more interested in is how are they going to deploy this $3 billion? Are they going to take the MicroStrategy approach, or are they going to be buying spot Bitcoin? We are seeing more and more companies come out and copy the MicroStrategy, strategy, for lack of a better word. In buying Bitcoin, leveraging it to then get more funds to buy more Bitcoin, to leverage it to buy more. And we've talked about this a few times. Love Sailor, love that all these people are bullish of buying Bitcoin, but it sounds too good to be true, Jan.
No, always when there's leverage in the system, it will wipe out. It will be wiped out at some point, right? We saw it happen with Celsius, BlockFi, and other lending platforms. We saw this happening also with what was the stablecoin again by Duke One?
Luna. Luna Terra.
Yeah, Luna, of course. I mean, like I said, I like the bullish news. Don't take me wrong. I think this is a good thing, but when you have traditional companies coming in and then they're borrowing against their own equities and buying more, it can't end good, right? And at some point there will be a big red week and we see this system again crumbling and resetting, doing a big reset.
Yeah. Well, I think they're betting on the continued downfall of fiat currencies around the world. If that happens, if we see Bitcoin push up to some of these higher numbers, these 500K, $1 million numbers, a lot of these companies are bought in below 100K. They're probably feeling safe at that point. The problem is as Bitcoin goes up, they're going to keep leveraging on more leverage and buying more and leveraging more. So it still presents that possibility for a major catastrophic event. But in the meantime, no real end in sight to the fiat kicking the can down the road. U.S. Right now with the Trump administration supposed to be a conservative GOP-run administration, but as we know, the GOP is different side of the same coin when it comes to governments around the world. Passing a tax cut bill, which does cut taxes, which is great, but then they also triple the whole spending. So rather than a bill coming in that's going to reduce our deficit, the projection is that we're looking to we'll take it to nearly $30 trillion deficits within the next 10 years, which is not going to help our bond rates, which is not going to help the Moody's rating, which is not going to help the U.S. Dollar stay as the reserve currency around the world. And it's not just the U.S. doing this. Every major nation around the world is doing similar things. But definitely kind of par for the course. I was hopeful, but I also realize, who we're dealing with here. So I don't know. Not much has changed. New guy, same as the old guy when it comes to your fiscal responsibility here. Buy more Bitcoin, I guess.
Again, governments will print money if they can. That will never stop. It's the only mean of either making money. They will tax you. That's one way of doing it, or by printing it, do a monetary system. Obviously, Elon Musk tried to go in, and unfortunately, even if you look at the statistics, he didn't do that well, to be honest. There's more spending than before, and even with Trump, I don't know.
Yeah.
Trump is
U.S. has never had a revenue problem. We've had a spending problem that we refuse to do anything about. Both sides yell at each other they need to cut spending, but they just want to spend money in different places. So I think it was we doubled or tripled our military budget and some other things. They cut in some areas, but long story short, the new spending far outweighs what we had previously. It's going to add, looks like, another $8 trillion to our deficit, not to be confused with the debt, which higher deficit means that the debt is just going to compound higher and higher and higher. So where does the fun stop? No one knows, Jan, but Bitcoin will be there waiting to catch us all when the fiat system eventually collapses. So keep DCAing, guys. It's going to be a wild ride in the next 10 years. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the world today, and not real sure how it's all going to end up, but do your best to protect yourself in any way that you can. Personally here, no, not financial advice, but obviously we believe that Bitcoin is a great way to hedge, a great way to help protect yourself against whatever it is that's coming in the future. So you got to do what's best on your own.
I think we had one news about Michael Saylor still.
Yeah, let me find that here. This is an interesting story. Saylor, headline torching proof of reserves. I understand where he's coming from, but again, this just makes me more worried. Essentially, Saylor is saying that publishing wallet addresses, showing proof of reserves, because there's been a lot of calls for MicroStrategy to show proof of reserves, which is a common thing. And in many cases, if you're a stable coin, for example, like Tether, it's good to be audited and prove that you actually have the assets that you say you have when you're backing billions and billions of dollars of stable coins. Michael Saylor is making the argument that in the case of MicroStrategy, publishing their wallet addresses would be like doxing your kids, calling it security. In other words, he's saying that it opens up too many issues for hackers, for potential rugs, etc., for them to show proof of reserves that they actually have the Bitcoin that they claim to have. Again, understand where he's coming from, but one more thing that just scares the hell out of me when it comes to this whole MicroStrategy strategy of buying Bitcoin.
I don't really understand. It's like they're a public-facing company, right? They're a public company, so they should be having their finances open. Obviously, if you own gold, you don't have to say where they are. So I get his point of view. But again, when you start to own so much of the supply, at least you should have some doxed wallet. But obviously, I don't know. Maybe it's not for the public. Maybe it's only for his investors. We don't know that, but yeah, kind of weird answer.
I thought we had or were very close to producing the technology to make this possible without doxing your wallet addresses. Like, isn't that the whole point behind like zero knowledge proofs and ZK rollups, is that we can prove verifiability of assets, prove things like, custody of assets without revealing, who or where those assets are. That's kind of the whole point of a lot of this stuff here. Some of the, account abstraction and zero knowledge proof stuff. Maybe the tech's not there yet. That would be my answer to this is, hey, right now it's not safe, but here's what we're working on. Here's the things that are out there in the market that are going to enable us to be able to do, doxing ourselves or, providing proof of reserves safely. So yeah, it's one more of those new promise techs from crypto that just isn't quite there yet, I guess.
No, I agree. Lots of promises again, but nothing really happening.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. In the meantime, that's I guess maybe a good perspective to take. A lot of people come into this industry now. They see Bitcoin at $112,000. They meet people like Jan that have been in the industry for a decade. They go, oh man, I'm late. There's no point in getting in now. You're not late. Like this technology is still in its infancy. You're investing in cell phone companies when they had bag phones that were attached to your car, like my dad used to have when he would drive around, right? So the industry is still in its infancy. There's so many good things on the horizon to come from blockchain, from Web3, from crypto. Don't let the idea that people got in before you discourage you from getting involved, whether that's if you're going to start as an investor, if you want to start looking for a career in this industry, etc. There's no other place, in my opinion, no other asset class, no other technology that's more opportunity right now, and a lower barrier to entry, right? Like someone would argue AI. Well, how many AI companies can you go and within a relatively short period of time, gain enough knowledge and insights in the industry to go and begin working for, right? Like you're going to need to be some sort of coder with years of experience, or huge financial backing if you're going to start your own company. Not the case in Web3. Like you can come in and start from working from the bottom up and be involved in this industry in a relatively short period of time. Within a number of 1 to 3 years, you can be working in a crypto company. Or, same thing on the investing side. Crypto is, most of the AI companies, early stage AI companies, your only opportunity, unless you're an accredited investor, guess what? Through crypto to invest in it. So this is the spot.
No, I agree. Like if you are in the trenches doing your homework, you will do well. And obviously you will probably lose your money at least 2 or twice.
Oh, at least. Yeah. I mean, when I started, I lost track of how many times they got rugged or made bad investments learning, but that's the cost of education.
Part of the road. Yeah.
Yeah. Just think about it as a student loan you don't have to pay back. It's just gone. You loan it to yourself.
I agree. Do we have any other news?
I think that's about it. There's a few just kind of minor stories. Bitcoin Vegas is about to start. There's a lot going on there. I don't think we're actually going to be at Bitcoin Vegas. It's one of the few big conferences that we don't have representation at. I think the next conference is coming up. There's a small conference in Vietnam. I think there's a conference coming up in Monaco that we might be attending. And then the next is going to be this fall, Korean Blockchain Week, then Token 2049 in Singapore. And there's a few others scattered around. There's one in Japan. I think there's CoinFest in Bali, and we haven't decided on those, but not going to make Bitcoin Vegas, I don't think.
Yeah, that's not going to be us, unfortunately.
Well, it's probably a good thing that you, me, and Andrew aren't just going to Vegas for a weekend trip under the guise of crypto. That would probably end poorly.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what we got for today. Hopefully you guys learned something, whether it's about OTC or just general market updates. Give us a like, give us a share, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future. Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, I don't know if
again. See you Friday or Thursday.
Friday.
Okay, Friday it is.
Back on Friday, wrapping up the week with some final news, and we'll get Andrew, hopefully not a bear anymore, in here to give us some TA analysis on some price charts.
bro, he has been negative this